Make the ground shake.
What's going on, guys? My name is Renegade. Today I'm here to ask and answer the question, how good is Alpha Omega class? Now, Alpha Omega is a class available for like PvP trophies or whatever. I actually can't really remember how to get it, to be honest. I know you can get it for 1000 ACs, so it's the cheapest AC class, I believe, unless you count the 0 AC classes. There was also the Alpha Doom Mega, which was like a completely separate class, kind of, but the same skills, and obviously it's a spoof of the name. And that was part of like the Doom thingamajig event. I apologize if I got that wrong, it being the cheapest AC purchase like class or whatever, but yeah. This class, it's a PvP class. It was designed for PvP, I believe. Again, this is like my keen observation that the skills are very PvP orientated. Like, you've got a stun, you've got a heal, and you've got a nuke. Like, guaranteed to crit. Yeah, it's a pretty overpowered class for PvP, I believe, and people use it a lot, but there are better classes, obviously. I'm going to be evaluating this class as a soloing class, because I don't believe that classes should be created for just PvP, and I kind of look out for the guys who don't PvP in AQW. And so I'm going to be evaluating this class as a soloing class. People have been suggesting this video quite a bit, actually, and so I didn't actually want to ever make this video because I know it's a PvP class, but people suggested it so much that I thought, you know what, I'll just evaluate it as a soloing class. So if you're one of those people that gets salty when someone gets something wrong or says something bad about a class when it's not designed for what they're using it for, then by all means click off the video now, because you're probably going to get really salty. Anyway, this class I would recommend to enhance with luck if you're going to be using it for what I'm using it for. They gain mana from striking enemies in combat, more effective on crits, and are struck by enemies in combat. So, you know, it's sort of just a basic mana regain system that you got there anyway. But most of the moves are either physical and magical, or just physical. Because you got a physical magical move here, but you also got, like, most of it's like physical basically. But the stats, you'll see that you can probably benefit from a lot of luck here. And the hit percentage is really big as with this class as well, which is a really awesome part of the class. Like, it's pretty big. I mean, you could try with some fighter enhancements. In fact, I would recommend you try some fighter enhancements. I'm going to be using luck for the purpose of this video to increase my heal, as I am going to be using this as a soloing class. So there. Okay, so your first move here is called Double Strike. It consumes 15 mana and has a 2-second cooldown. It says instantly attack twice, dealing extra damage. So it's just a spammable little move here. It doesn't really do much damage. I am using a fully stable weapon, by the way. It can deal a fairly large amount of damage, as you can see there, 1,600. It's not too bad and does sort of eat away at the enemies quite well, but as you can see, if you're spamming it like that, you will run into some mana issues. So I'm going to walk out of the room, come back in and rest for a bit while I regain that mana. My second move here is called Field Medic. It consumes 30 mana and it has a 6-second cooldown. It is a physical and magical ability. Kills a friendly target for a large amount immediately, and up to 3 additional nearby targets for a smaller amount. Applies Radiance to the first target, healing an additional amount over 16 seconds and restoring some mana to the caster when the caster takes damage. When the target takes damage, rather. So, by target, I presume it's just the monster or whatever, so it's actually more kind of a mana regen move as well. It does consume quite a large amount of mana. It applies a HOT, unless I'm wrong with that. Yeah, it applies an HOT, a pretty small HOT at that as well. But you'll notice that if I attack this guy here, I'll basically, I'll use this again just to lose some more mana. And actually, that's interesting. It's supposed to be gaining mana while I'm doing that, but obviously it's not, like, gaining a lot more mana than I was before, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't know how effective that is. I expected that to be a little bit more effective. I vaguely remember this class having some mana issues, but I didn't realize it would be this bad. Okay, so this move here is called Maul. It consumes 30 mana with a 10-second cooldown. It is a physical ability. Strike and weaken an enemy by stunning them for 4 seconds. It's just a basic stun move. So you just, yep, stunned. Cool, he's stunned, so, you know, whatever. It's really useful in PvP, but not really useful for soloing. Well, kind of is. This move here is called Bunker Buster. It consumes 30 mana, it has a 15-second cooldown, and it is a physical ability. 1 hit guaranteed to crit. So, it can miss, I believe, but it will always crit. Now, with a unstable weapon, this will actually usually deal more damage than that. And so unstable weapon can be pretty useful for this. But honestly, as a soloing class, this class does very poorly. And this is why I didn't want to evaluate this class. This class is a great PvP class from what I know. So if you're going to be using this class for PvP, then sure. If you're using it for anything else, maybe it's as a support class, or I don't know why you wouldn't use something like healer, because this basically just does what healer does, essentially, for support. It is a stun, I mean, which is kind of useful, I guess, but a lot of other classes are better than this, and they have stuns. It's 1000 ACs, or it's like a lot of combat trophies, I think. But yeah, so I mean, sure, buy it if you want a soloing class. It's pretty terrible. Honestly, like, it's not really that great for soloing. And that's basically all you can really evaluate it as. It could be used as a farming class, I suppose. In fact, it would make a fairly effective farming class, but then again, it's kind of mediocre. I mean, the class itself has some pretty solid PvP abilities, and so if you want a PvP class that's just a basic class that you can just do some PvP with, then by all means, if you just enjoy doing PvP. I personally don't enjoy it, and I'm pretty bad at it, so I don't see any use for this class. But anyway, I'm evaluating it for you guys here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.